Hi and welcome to day 5 of Ditch the Bowl, my dog training challenge where I'm helping you build the ultimate bond with your dog. So in today's video, it's all about confidence building. So what I need you to do is find any kind of random objects from around the house. I'll give you some examples and show you how I would use them. Anything that maybe has a bit of movement or a wobble or something that the dog can interact with, which they don't normally interact with. And what we're going to do is turn that into a great opportunity for confidence building for your dog. It doesn't matter whether you have the most confident dog out there or a very insecure and nervous dog. This game is great fun for anyone. So the examples that I have here with me is I have a washing basket, I have a chair, and I have a maiden. And I'm going to be showing you how I would use all 3 of these in this confidence game. So I'm going to break, chase, off, off. Good boy, move that out of the way. Okay, so we're going to start with the washing basket. And really, this game is all about being creative. So we're just finding opportunities for a dog to interact with something that they don't normally interact with, and we're just going to reward them for doing so with their food that we have ditched the bowl for their meal for today. So for example, to start with, I might put this way down, and just any interaction that the dog does with the food, so we can see straight away Chase has gone on top of it. That's great. I'm just going to reward, and I'm just going to move him out of the way, break. So the point of this session is to just really, there is no right or wrong. So it's really however the dog chooses to interact, we're just going to reward. And then what that does is start to build the dog's confidence that they're actually influencing and that they're kind of building the fun and creating a fun game and getting rewarded for doing so. So we can see here, this is a really nice position. Chase is choosing to put his 2 front paws on top of the washing basket. And then what I might do is break him off. And then I might change it to this way and see what he does with it here. And see how he's trying to get in. Nice. And that was a little bit challenging because it is quite tall. And then I'm just going to reward that. And if your dog is lacking confidence, they may not do this straight away. I've done lots of these games, not with these exact objects, but I've done a lot of confidence building with Chase because he was in quite an anxious dog, or still is working through a lot of that. Break. And now I might turn it on its side. And like I say, it's just any opportunity for the dog to have a bit of fun and engage with an object which they wouldn't normally do. And maybe an object that's a little bit intimidating and is quite large, or maybe has some movement or wobble to it. The kind of more movement or the more random the object is, the better. So it's really nice that Chase has chose to sat in it and get on it. So that's an example with the washing basket. And then we're going to try, and I'm just, again, there is no right or wrong. I'm going to put it down, and however he chooses to interact, all we're looking for is some level of interaction. It may just be, and I'll show, we may have to shape the behaviour. So if your dog starts by just maybe sniffing or cautiously kind of moving towards the object, then we're going to reward, and if I would deliver the reward in or around the object, so that kind of reinforces that being near that maybe scary object is where the food is delivered. And we're just going to build up from there. So it's just about shaping and seeing how much fun and kind of what they can do with these random objects. So you can see Chase is putting his paws in between the washing lines, which is nice. And I'm just going to wait it out and see what he chooses. So now that I've rewarded 2 paws, okay, that time he put his paws on top of the wires, which is another new behaviour. And it's kind of just all about shaping and seeing what more, so let the dog think and let them try and discover how they can earn the reward. But the secret is there is no right or wrong, so they earn it from just trying something new. So we don't want to just keep rewarding them from doing the same thing. We want them to be creative, and we want them to keep trying to engage with objects in new ways, and they're building confidence while they do it. So now that I've already rewarded 2 paws, I'm going to wait it out, and there we go. So he managed to try and get all 4 of his feet in there. And I'm just going to deliver the treats randomly, so he kind of has to look around and put his nose in between kind of tight metal bars there, which is, again, is all great confidence building. I'm going to see if he'll do that one more time. So he's put 2 feet in, which he seems fairly comfortable with. He's not as comfortable with 4, so I'm just going to wait and see. And there we go. We've managed to get all of his feet in there, and I can deliver some rewards. So now I might break him off with a treat, and then I might lift it up slightly and see what he does when it's in the air. Oh, let me hook it down this way. There we go. And let's see how he chooses to interact with it now. So he's just put his head through it, which is fine. That's a good start. So I'm going to actually put the treats underneath, so he has to kind of tuck his head in there slightly more. And let's see if he offers any new behaviour this time. So again, he's put his head through. He's putting it a bit further in, so I'm going to reward that round this side. But what we don't want to, so the only real rule is to each time we want to reward new behaviours. So maybe it is they just do the same thing but slightly further or slightly more confident. But then we want to get them to think, okay, that I got a reward for that time, but it's not working this time. What else can I do? That's the only rule. Just keep working on rewarding and shaping new behaviours. It's getting the dog thinking, it's getting them being creative, and it's getting them building confidence while they feel empowered that they're actually making these rewards happen. So he's trying to stick his head through the same place. Okay, so that time he tried to lift it higher, which is really interesting. I'm just going to try one more time and see what he does. So he's putting his head all the way in there. And this is also good frustration training. So if your dog does get very frustrated and doesn't have kind of much frustration tolerance or patience, this is a great game because they may start good. So he put a paw up that time, so I'm going to reward that for the last time here. They may start to get frustrated that what worked before to deliver them a treat didn't work a second time, and that's great because they can work through that. So you just need to be patient and wait it out and encourage them to try something new. So for the last example that I have today, I'm going to start by just putting this chair as it would normally and just see how he chooses to interact with that. Nice. So he's chosen to put 2 paws on, so I'm going to reward there, and now I'm going to put it this way, and you can see how it wobbles slightly, so that's really nice. At one point that would have really spooked Chase, but as I say, we've already worked on a lot of confidence building, and these kind of games are what's great for it. So I'm not going to reward for the same 2 feet in that position. Ideally, I'd like him to come round and try and interact with the other side, but I don't want to tell him. We're not giving him any cues. We're not luring in this game. It's all about letting the dog think for themselves. So let's just wait it out and see if he chooses to offer a new behaviour. So I think he's either going to try and put all of his feet on there, or he's going to try and come round to the other side. You can see he keeps trying the same thing and it's not working, so oh, there we go. Brilliant. So you can see there, it wasn't working. He kept trying to put 2 feet on the chair. It wasn't working as it did the first time. I was waiting for a new behaviour, and he decided to put all 4 feet on the chair, which was great, and it wobbled massively. And although he jumped off, you can see he's still super engaged and wanting to go back on it because it's all good fun, and that's where the reward came. So just wait and see what he does this time. Okay, so he's put his head down this side, and what I'm going to do is the reward this time I'm going to encourage to come round, so he has to kind of interact with different parts of the chair. So if your dog is struggling and they're not really sure how, and they're not really interacting with it, maybe just try and take some of your food and just throw it around and under the chair, and just really, that's another way that we can really build confidence. So here he has to push his head and he has to actually move the chair to be able to get the treat, which is great confidence. And we can see, so he's gone back to that side. Let's see if he goes anywhere else on the chair. Very nice. I'm just going to reward that for trying to come round the back of the chair, because I just want him to be thinking for himself and thinking, okay, this isn't working. And rather than getting stuck and frustrated, I want him to think, okay, what else can I try to earn a reward by doing? So let's see. It worked the last time he came round. I want to see if he tries that again, but this time offers a new behaviour, maybe coming further into the back of the chair or trying to get under it. You see, it's easy for the dog to get stuck in what what worked the first time. Nearly, he was thinking about it then. Let's just wait it out and see. Nice. Okay, so I'm going to reward because he did put his head through the chair there. And then he managed to get 2 feet through the chair, so we're going to reward that as well. He keeps going back to the base, which is where he thinks the reward comes from. There we go. So he's actually just put a paw over the chair leg, I show from this angle, on his own, which is really nice. Just let's see if he'll... Oh, and now he's come all the way through the chair, which is... There we go. So I'm just going to reward and shape that behaviour. Let me just move it slightly so you can see. Yes, and we got 2 feet behind the chair. So as I say, just this game is really random. It's just about being creative. It's just about kind of shaping your dog's behaviour and letting them try new things. And just how can you make these innate objects fun and exciting and rewarding, and how can the dog choose to interact with them in different ways. That is your challenge for day 5 of Ditch the Bowl. Have fun and let me know in the comments below what objects your dog enjoys playing with the most.